I wonder what you take from that and the complexities of trying to curb this now quite regular event of people leaving here and ending up in Syria.
That's right. It is a European problem. There are 3,000 Europeans, there are over 500 Brits, and increasingly it's women going over too. 50 of the 500 Brits are women. And this does pose an issue for the Turkish authorities because Turkey is predominantly used as the transit country. I'd like to see more done by the Turkish authorities to police this better. I understand that this is a border of 911 kilometres, but more has got to be done. We've got to have more buy-in from the Turkish authorities and to clamp down on the facilitators and the fixers in those crucial border areas in Turkey who are making it all too easy. Feeding into that, of course, there's the corruption issue where we've heard reports of border guards being paid off to allow the safe transit of people over, and that's a key issue.
What about the authorities here and what more they could do? Earlier on we were speaking to the lawyer for the Scottish girl who went across in September 2013, and we know obviously there's been contact between her intermittently and these three, and he was making the point that the authorities here knew that there was a degree of contact and that they didn't do anything about it.
Yes, that seems very peculiar to me. I do hope that there's an investigation into what more the police could have done. However, I think there's a danger that we focus entirely on the blame game here and too much on the role of the police or even the social media companies in failing to prevent this. We've got to look behind the mechanical operation of travelling over to fight, behind even the recruitment mechanisms. We've got to look at radicalisation as a process. We've got to do more to challenge the desire of these girls to go over in the first place.
So how do we do that?
Well, I think there's a lot more that can be done in schools and through working with families, mothers in particular. I think one crucial element that we've got to do is to understand that radicalisation is a process and that the police, with just one interaction with these girls, are not going to be able to spot change. Mothers, families, teachers who see these girls every day, they can make a real impact. And we've got to, as a government, and as think tanks in the not-for-profit sector, we have got to provide more support for those people who can really make a difference. I think there's another role for education as well, and that's in teaching critical consumption skills and in teaching British values such as pluralism, tolerance, respect for others, including religious minorities.
By critical consumption, you mean questioning material that you are faced with, messages that you are encouraged to back? I
would say that there are three main elements to it. Number one is being critical with what we view online, to check for sources and to not get sucked into conspiracy theory. Secondly, to be able to distinguish between the reality, the brutal reality of what ISIL are doing in Syria and Iraq and the propagandized version that they might spread on social media. But also to distinguish between Islam, the faith, and Islamism, the ideology, the politicised exploitation of the faith.
Okay. Jonathan Russell from the Quilliam Foundation, many thanks for coming in.